My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Aries. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot, and as per promise, for this week we're going to be doing the Macabre Tarot. Now I'm going to actually choose which reading, layout I'm going to be doing, because I think I'm going to be doing the tombstone reading. So I'll have the pictures all laid out, on the thumbnail or what have you, those things. But as you can see, I am queen and I have my veil, so I thought I would just kind of, we'll change it up a little bit. But anyway, so I'm going to help you guys overcome your fears using the tombstone spread. So it's going to be a 5-card spread. So, but anyway, it's like, where I'm just going to be, talking about, especially, the questions and stuff like that, and to see if the cards more or less kind of resonate for you in any way, it will possible and stuff like that. So, but anyway, for card number 1, what is a piece of yourself you've lost connection with? So sometimes, when you're kind of going through any kind of change and stuff like that, it could cause one to actually maybe struggle in other ways, because for a card number 1, for what piece of yourself you've lost connection with, well, you get 4 of Cups. Now, why would a 4 of Cups? You know what it's mostly based off of? Trust. You know why? Because a 4 of Cups, especially, when you look at the Rider-Waite deck, you see this individual with his arms crossed, just thinking, I'm not going to be embracing or accepting any kind of offerings coming up, because, the thing is that, it's like, if you feel hesitant about any kind of offering, I mean, it's like, I'm so sorry if this is a bit too macabre, but of course it is the Macabre Tarot. But the thing is, I feel like that a lot of humans, when you pretty much will feel like that you've trusted the wrong types of humans too often, or maybe just recently in other ways, what happens is that you pretty much just think, I just don't trust people. And that can sometimes, will be something that you probably have to kind of come to terms with. And that's why I'm here to guide you guys, to support you in other ways, to see how you guys are able to kind of maybe process it, and maybe even try to correct it in other ways as well. So, then we get to card number 2. The question is, how can you reconnect? Justice. Okay. Maybe, it's kind of like a legal battle that you're kind of struggling with. Maybe you once upon a time fell in love with somebody, because this is just a general reading. It's not based off of career or love per se. So I feel like, if you feel like that you're struggling with, trusting other people, for example, and you pretty much just think, it's like, this is a major problem that a lot of humans, pretty much struggle with, sad but true, is that, you pretty much just once upon a time you fell in love with somebody. I mean, that's what I can more or less kind of resonate in today's reading, is that, if any person, gives me any kind of love offerings, I'm flattered. Please don't ever get me wrong. But the problem is I'm just going to have to reject and refuse, not because I want to, but because that's kind of my coping mechanism. Now, that's my way of thinking, what, I just don't know if I can trust people. Because the thing is, it's not like I don't trust humans, don't get me wrong, because I love my followers. I even love my, the humans that pretty much just kind of, supported me even when I was still human. But the thing is that maybe, it's like how you can maybe kind of reconnect is maybe even try to balance yourself and try to come to a realistic, idea and vision, because Libra is your opposite sign, or our opposite sign. But Libra is pretty much also saying we need to kind of keep ourselves as balanced as possible. If you feel like that you can, that you just can't trust people and stuff like that, what these cards are mostly saying is either, you need to maybe deal with, this maybe divorce or, a relationship conflict with maybe, like a mediator of some kind, or maybe somebody, in the legal field for that matter. But that's kind of, what card number 2 has for you. Because card number 3, or the question number 3, where can you make space for this new connection in your life? 2 of Crystals, also known as 2 of Pentacles. So what this is all about is by actually managing, by moving forward, by keep going. The fact is that you just have to keep going. And the thing is it's like, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but it's not always going to be thunderstorms and any kind of problems either. So the thing is, what I just kind of want to mostly, talk about is that, the thing is that, you just have to try to move on, maybe, if you feel like, like you just feel like, somebody really did you wrong in other ways that you feel like, oh goodness, I can't handle, I just don't feel myself. I just feel, there's like this real big problem that I'm struggling with and stuff like that. The thing is, it's like how this one saying, it's not really ancient in any way, but it's kind of like, the best cure or solution to any kind of suffering or any kind of struggling or any wrongdoing is by living successfully in other ways. Because if you feel like that, somebody, did, something wrong for you, or, you pretty much just feel like you just can't trust anybody and stuff like, trust me, I know that all too well, is, the best way is just to kind of, just keep working on yourself, keep, just, living the life that you personally want to live and stuff. So, but anyway, then we're going to get to question number 4. How will this impact you moving forward? 4 of Bones, also known as 4 of Wands. Happy home, happy hearth, happy family, and confidence, and maybe even abundance on top of it as well. So what this is pretty much, how this is going to impact is by actually creating what you personally want. If you feel like that, you never got a happy home, happy hearth, happy family, maybe you met somebody, maybe, it's your ex, your current boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever you're currently courting and stuff like that, the best way is just to try to keep working on yourself, maybe self-development. And what the human even always advises, because, it's like he was even telling me how he enjoys doing like mindfulness or even yoga, or some humans like to work out, some humans like nature walks and stuff like that. It's like those types of like examples that could also enhance your confidence of thinking, you know what, I'm moving on. I'm not going to be dealing with this injustice, this unfair, I just feel like, this person really, did me wrong in so many ways. Well, instead of, taking revenge, which is, I know, easier said than done, of saying, please don't do that. Because the thing is, it's like the best way to actually live a happier and healthier and more successful life is to actually make yourself happier and stuff like that. But of course, it's like, to each their own in many ways. But anyway, now we're going to get to the 5th and final one. How can you honor this new space in your life? 6 of Cups. Nostalgia. And this is what I want to see in your future, is that you're looking back at the past and say, I'm so glad I chose this alternative course, this alternative path, this route of mine. Because the thing is, it's like, it's not always going to be easy. On the contrary, please don't ever get me wrong about it. Just think, oh my goodness, here is this vampire, everything is just going swimmingly for her, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, it's not at all going swimmingly. But the point is that, it's like, well, the best way to heal yourself is by actually working on yourself, just keep on, doing whatever you have to do, just keep up your job, maybe focus on your family or your pets, but always do like maybe, whatever, more or less just gives you a good sense of happiness and purpose in so many ways, and not just ever think, oh goodness, it's like, because it's easy to want to actually just lay in bed and think, you know what, it's all game over. I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to forget about it, right? Trust me, I've done that for 300 years, so and that's why I'm your cautionary tale in other ways. But that's what I just mostly want to actually just talk about, is just, if you're struggling with any kind of trust issues, like maybe, you had an ex or any person or even, family member, relative, is just, instead of just focusing too much on them and how bad they treated you in other ways, is to actually just work on yourself, do a lot of self-improvement, and then you're going to be able to actually start seeing your confidence of your own personal happy home, happy earth, happy family creating, because maybe you're going to also be, finding a new partner or a new spouse, companion, coming up real soon, and then you'll be able to actually start establishing this, and then in the future, you're going to have so much nostalgia. Wow. Okay, my beautiful Aries, I'm going to have to leave it at this, but, pretty soon I'm just going to be, varying, the different types of macabre readings and stuff like that. If it resonated somehow, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to post, even in the comment section or what have you, stuff like that, the different types, and to see what you guys would like to actually, hear more of, the different types of, readings coming up and stuff like that. But anyway, please feel free to stay tuned for more readings. I love you guys incredibly. Thank you so much for joining me. This very beautiful reading. And try to actually, just focus on your own self and stuff like that. Try to, forgive and forget about other humans, in your past. I mean, I know it's so easier said than done, but yet, I pretty much feel like if you kind of follow that path, you'll be in Nostalgia City real soon. So, But anyway, I love you guys incredibly. And again, as per usual, take excellent good care of yourselves.